on? Welcome back to the Artful Podcast, guys. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe, to like the video, to share to everyone. That will really help the channel to grow, and it will really help me to connect to more artists that are more willing to participate in a bigger YouTube channel or a bigger podcast in general. Anyway, it's been a crazy week. I'm doing a big project for myself, something that I am really excited about it, and I can't say anything yet because we are going to go live hopefully in a couple of weeks, and it's great. I'm really excited about this, and I haven't, because I've been really busy between everything, even the podcast, try to organize the episodes. I haven't been really painting, so I kind of decide to not do it while I'm this busy with other stuff, so I just don't stress about find the timing, and it's just I still enjoy when I will go back to the painting or drawings. I have a couple ideas in mind, so I will definitely do some drawing and painting as soon as possible. But I've been part of an exhibition which is going on in Bristol, so I was trying to just organize it as well, so which is on Boca Bar in Paintworks in Bristol. So if you're around the area, just pop in and have a look. They do lovely drinks and food as well, so go see some art while you're drinking a beer. And yeah, so today episode we are going to have another painter. She's really interesting. She's really great, actually. She does portrait, for what I could see on her social media, mostly. So, and she's doing this 100 portrait challenge, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk about in the studio chat. And yeah, I'm really excited to see and to talk to her and see and discuss about her practice and how she approached the painting and why she's doing this challenge. And yeah, so it'll be great. It's gonna be a great episode, so stay tuned. Again, share the video with your friends, subscribe to the channel. It will really help the channel to grow. And this was Flow Studio Chat. And for today's episode we have Flo. How you doing, Flo? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Not too bad. It's good. It's been quite a busy week for me, but yeah, finally I'm doing another episode of podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, did you have your exhibition that you were setting up?
Yeah, I was setting up this exhibition that I'm having, which is gonna go for like a couple of months. It's only a couple of paintings, but
no, but it's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
To get work out there, isn't it?
It's always, yeah. Finally, it's my first one after the whole lockdown, and I was really excited to just do an exhibition. So
yeah, I know, it just feels a bit bizarre, doesn't it, at the moment, not knowing whether if you book to do anything, is it actually going to happen, and all that kind of thing. So no, I bet it was exciting and a relief to be able to get out.
Yes, because I had one online exhibition, but it doesn't feel the same. It just doesn't. Um,
No, you don't get the interaction the same, do
yeah,
you?
you
The
don't.
human kind of aspect of it.
Yeah, you send the picture, you have like a contact with the gallery, but at the same time they're on their website, but nothing really. It doesn't really feels you having an exhibition, which is
No.
which is weird. Especially because I really like organizing exhibition myself. So
That's cool.
so like I did a couple of curating couple exhibition. So the whole busy of contacting people and try to choose the artworks, it's really interesting for me. So if there is nothing like that, it just doesn't feel for me. It doesn't feel the same.
No, I know what you mean.
Did you manage to have any sort of exhibition or?
No, when I
lately?
held off, I was going to have one. It wasn't really an exhibition. It's the old, I think it's the old ITV studios in the centre of Bristol, just off the centre. They offer up their front of house space for you, and basically it's mini exhibition / kind of place to sell, really. But because no one's going to the office and there's no footfall, no one's going to see it. So I didn't end up doing that one, and I've just held off just because of the uncertainty, because it takes so much preparation. Even if you're only putting a couple of pieces in, you know, what goes into it and things like that. And I just thought, no, I'm just going to focus on what I know will happen at the moment, things a bit more tangible, and then see what next year brings and see what I can go for.
Yeah, you kind of take like a little break from the whole thing. You're just producing work now, are you?
Yeah, because it's quite hard, because when you're submitting things for exhibitions as well, it's quite nerve-wracking, you know, when they do open calls and stuff like that, and you worry whether it's going to get
sometimes
in the rejection and all that bit's horrible.
Yeah, I've sometimes the whole process is just so long as well, all the writing, and I actually applied for a big competition in London. I didn't get the part. I didn't get a space, which is fine, obviously. But at the same time, you're like, oh, I wish.
Yeah,
but
did you do one of the Brick Lane ones? Is that the one you went for, or a different one?
I did actually an exhibition. It was a couple of years ago at the Brick Lane Gallery. Yeah. And they had a couple of open calls actually, which I did.
Doing quite regularly.
I did apply for those as well. But yeah, it was a different competition, and yeah, it was actually in Bristol as well.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's for the RWA annual open exhibition.
I've done that one twice.
I've
applied for that and didn't get in. So the first year I did it got through to like second round of selection, where you go and take your artwork in. That was quite bizarre doing that. And you know, the other artists and absolutely hundreds of paintings like stacked up everywhere. And trying to get a sneak peek, and I was getting told off because I was getting too close to the painting. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to, you know, disrupt it. And then the second year, I submitted something, and it got rejected after the first round. And I just find that bit really hard.
It is.
When you're pushed, and I know it, I really do know that it's subjective, and I really do know that it's all part of it, and it can't be liked by everyone, but it just feels really tricky, and I'm a bit of a sensitive sod. So I thought, no, I'm not going to do it this year, and just give myself a break.
Yeah,
and
it's
maybe apply next year.
It's an aspect of art that most of the people that obviously they are not into art or producing art or do competition. They don't know that's what's going on. I was talking to a friend actually, and he had no idea that we can apply as artists. You can apply for an actual competition where you can actually win money, and there are so many out there. And if you apply for like a lot of them and you do get rejected, it's really not nice. Just because it's
no.
Yeah, it's
just
just
like someone coming up to you saying, I don't like you.
Yeah, just because it's so personal. It's not even like a project or something. It's so personal because sometimes you apply for your actually artworks that it was part of your a series or something, and
Yeah.
it's so personal that when you get a no, and obviously the emails all the time they're like try to make it super nice. It was like, oh, this time it's not your time or something like that, and you're like, okay, I get it, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just, I think, if you put a little bit of yourself into every single painting or artwork that you do, and the same as I get a bit freaked out when I see my paintings in other people's houses. Think,
oh,
what's
that's
that?
that's
That looks a
interesting.
bit odd. That's mine.
That's interesting. Yeah. I had a couple of those
And I guess
situations.
it is. Yeah, it's the same. It's a bit of us, isn't it? So that's
Yeah,
what they
it
have.
is. We jumped straight away into it. First of all, let's introduce yourself. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, we just start chatting. Like, yeah, it was great. Just have a little introduction of yourself and what you do and where you're from and anything like that.
Okay, I'm quite boring, really. I've lived in Bristol my entire life, and I still get lost in Bristol. I don't know if I consider myself a portrait artist yet, though. I absolutely love doing portraits. I only started painting full time, I think, not quite, I think it'd be 3 years in February. I started painting full time, and I didn't start with portraits at all. It just kind of happened, which is why I guess I'm not reluctant, but I won't call myself just a portrait artist, because who knows what I'll be doing in 5-6 years time.
Yeah.
But that's my focus at the moment, so I'm just sticking with it. I did study art, but I didn't do a degree. I did a HND, which was wonderful. I liked it because it wasn't, I think sometimes with, well, I'm probably speaking out of turn a bit really, because I've not done a degree, but from people who've done a degree, things can kind of go in fashions with art or whatever it might be, and it might not be the thing of the moment. So if you're doing conceptual art, great, and they love it, and you come out with a really good degree. But my HND wasn't like that. It was just, you got encouraged to do what you enjoy doing. You still got to experiment, do ceramics, painting, metalwork and everything. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. So that was my HND. So I studied, and then I ended up working in an office for 13 years, which was fine. Managed to get married and buy a house and all those kind of wonderful things that you do. And then I got made redundant. The whole company shut down.
Ooh, what were you doing?
I'm sorry?
What kind of office job you were doing?
It's so different. Recruitment.
Ah, okay.
It was such a different environment. The people I worked for and worked with were brilliant. That's what kept me there, really.
Yeah.
So it was, it couldn't be more different. It was sales. It was fast-paced. It was a bit dog-eat-dog. You didn't. The art world's quite different from what I found. I might be being completely naive, but in the small experience that I've had, people are really willing to help each other out. If there's an open call, my friends and things say, right, there's this open call, I think you should enter, even if they're entering.
Yeah, it happens to me all the time.
Competition, whereas in recruitment, if you found out that there was a job available somewhere, you keep that to yourself. You don't tell anyone else. So painting now full time since the company shut down, and that's it really. It's just evolved from there, and I've managed to go that long.
You just decide to obviously I'm guessing you always wanted to paint and be an artist and stuff like that, and having this regular job stopped you to doing that, and once you had to leave, you just decide to go for it 100%.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I'm 38 now, and when I studied art, we didn't have social media or anything like that. So when I'd finished, I didn't see a way of. I wasn't confident enough to do it. Absolutely not. No, I would have been too scared to put myself out there.
Yeah.
And it felt so removed. It felt like you had to be in London, you had to be doing these galleries and all that kind of thing, and it just felt so distant that I just never pursued it and just worked in an office. And I'd still do my bits and bobs, I'd paint for family or occasionally for myself over those years, but nothing really. And my husband's been always supportive of it and kept saying to me throughout the whole time, you need to do something for yourself, you need to do what you actually want to do, not just something that pays the bills. So when I got the phone call from my director, who's actually a friend as well, I went and told my husband, and he said, right, that's it, you're not applying for anything else, you've got to go for it now, because how often do you get that opportunity, really?
And is this director helped you to get into the art world? And
not at all, no. So they just they became friends over that time, and I didn't really know. I didn't have all of my other friends and that from my workplace went and applied. I helped them apply for other jobs, and they all found something. And it was just my husband who said, "You've just got to do it now."
Okay.
It was just one of those things.
Oh,
that's
really nice.
Because I'm not brave. I'm really not brave. I'm really risk averse. As you can tell, not going to open calls and things. So yeah, thanks to my husband, really, he pushed me and just said, "Do it." So.
Oh yeah, these partners that will live with us, they're angels. They cope with us with so much.
Yeah. Oh, they do. Someone called it was it like an art widow or something? I think my husband's an art widow. However it works, because he doesn't see a lot of me. He'll go to bed in the evening and I'm still up painting, and
that's hilarious.
He doesn't see a great deal of me anymore, so he might regret his decision to make me do it.
Let me tell me a little bit more about your study experience, because I'm really intrigued by that aspect, because basically why I'm an artist now is because I decided to start studying, and that gave me a whole different way of seeing this, because before I start doing college and then uni, I never saw myself actually doing this as a profession, and it really helped me and see another aspect, meaning there is an actual it's hard, super hard, but you can actually do this as a job. And so I always ask people about their studies, because I think it's really interesting. And my experience with schools and colleges and university, they are not just the classic, I'm teaching you a technique, and especially university was more like change your mind to see this as a profession. It's not an hobby, it's not something that you do once in a while, it's your job and you are an artist. So they put me really in that perspective, put me really straight on just produce and this is my job, which is really, it changed completely my approach on art, and it changed a lot, and I really appreciate their way of teaching, and not just I'm teaching you the technique, which sounds like what you had.
Yeah, I didn't have so early stage obviously would have been school and things, and then I did a foundation degree, and that was I didn't feel that in any way was preparing me for it being a business at all. That was again, you looked at fashion photography, 3D work, fine art, so that was more about discovering, if you were going to carry on and do a degree, what kind of specialism you were going to go down. So that wasn't preparing me. We had exhibitions, but we never had to kind of apply for any exhibition space or anything like that. Never taught about marketing. So yeah, my foundation degree that I did for a year, that was skill set based. And then my HND was a funny one, because I don't know if it was because I did it part time. So normally you do your HND in 2 years and then you can top it up to be a degree, but I did it part time. And it's quite funny, all of my friends, I guess, that I made there were older than me by about 20 years plus.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was 20, was I 20? Yeah, when I did it. And the oldest student was 70.
God.
He was lovely.
Yeah.
So it didn't, again, when I studied there, it felt like it was pure pleasure. Because a lot of them were doing it to improve their skill set or give them the opportunity to
Just
practice
enjoy
art. A lot of them had grown children. They didn't have the financial pressures of having to earn money from their art. So again, we did apply for kind of exhibition space in public spaces and things like that, but there was never kind of any business side to it at all, and probably that's what I felt. I never could have done anything with it after that anyway. It was more, this is life drawing, this is a piece of charcoal, try and do it with that, these are some oil paints, have a go with that. It was it was more about technique and developing your skill, rather than how do I now transfer that into the big wide world and actually make a job out of it, because it is a job.
Yeah,
isn't it? And it's very hard. I think I did a post on it on Instagram not that long ago, and I think some people, I don't think devalue is probably the right word, but are quite dismissive that if you enjoy what you do, then I don't know what it was. Someone said to me, does it feel like work? I was thinking, what does that mean? Does it feel like work? Do I have to do it every day? Yes. If I don't do it every day, then I'm not producing something to sell, and I've got to make my skill set improve and things like that. Do I have to do it to pay my bills? Yeah. But because I enjoy it, does that mean that it's not
it's not an actual job? Yeah.
Wow. It was a funny one. So as far as my study goes, going back to your original question, I absolutely loved every minute of it. I'd be a student for the rest of my life. If I could, because there's no pressure, but it didn't prepare me. So I think my study's quite different to yours. That's amazing that they can actually help you.
The course that I did was 3 years degree, and it did really focus on change your set mind as you are a professional artist. So you need to see this as it's going to be your career. Obviously they teach you like techniques and stuff like that and way of doing art, but it was all about the change your approach on being an artist as a professional artist, not just because. And a lot of my peers were younger than me, because I decided to do uni when I really wanted to do. So, and most of them, I could feel that they were there just because they were like 19, 20, and they were doing uni because that was the next step. And they might liked doing art, so they did that course. But I really think that, especially if you want to do university or those kind of high up education course, just wait a little bit after you finish your school, and then if you really want to, you go back to school and doing university, even because it's a lot of money that you spend on, and you wanna do what you actually gonna do for the rest of your life and get skills out of it. You don't want to just spend £9,000 a year for something that you're not gonna use after. So I really appreciate if people if kids now, they're wait before they do university and then decide to do them.
Yeah, they get more from it, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Why I found you and I decided to talk to you and to interview is because I was really intrigued by the your 100 portrait challenge. Is it called?
Yeah, that's what your 100 heads challenge. Yeah.
100 heads challenge. So, and I was really curious to talk about is it one per day, or is it how does it work, and why you're doing it, especially because it's really challenging.
Why am I doing it?
Yeah, as a portrait artist myself, it's a lot of work.
Oh, it's exhausting, isn't it? far as I know, I've only discovered it through an artist called Lucy Pass, who's amazing. She's a lovely lady as well. And I don't think there's any hard and fast rules. Some people will try and literally do one a day, which I just couldn't do. I've got 2 small children, I've got to do the school run. Sometimes you're just not in the mood. And having to paint at night makes it quite difficult as well because of the light. Anyway, I'm digressing already. So I spotted Lucy doing it, and I'd seen a few different artists doing it in various different ways. And I've always admired artists that kind of get a theme and really go for it. You know, they produce a body of work or they do an exhibition, and I love that. But my brain doesn't seem to want to work like that. I'll think, I enjoy something about masks or clowns or circus, and I'll do that for a couple of paintings, and then I'm off on another tangent. And I can never seem to form at the moment that kind of cohesive body of work. So I thought, right, I need to give myself some challenge, and I'll talk about another challenge in a second, that gives me consistency in what I'm doing, and I think it would also give me something that I can look back on and measure my progress and kind of painting style and techniques and things like that. So I started it in April, I think it was. I don't do one every day. I pretty much paint or draw every day, so I might draw one out one day and then paint it the next day. They are quicker artworks than, in my mind, I'm meant to not plough through them because that sounds like I'm a machine and not thinking about it. But when I'm completing one, like I think I finished one this morning, I already want to know what I want to do with the second one. What went well, what didn't go so well, what didn't I enjoy, and then move on and do another one. So that's why I've done that, really. And like I said, there's no rules to it, and mine's really evolved. So I started thinking, as I like themes, right, I'm going to do 3 this way, and then the next 3 I'll do another way. That lasted about 6 boards, and then I gave up. And I just thought, right, why are you doing this to yourself? Just paint what you enjoy painting. So what am I up to now? I think I'm on number 62 now. And one section I opened up for people to submit their photos as well. That was quite fun. So it was almost like a commission without it being as scary as a commission. Yeah. Because they just sent me lots of photos. I didn't tell them which one I'd selected. They gave me no direction at all. And it just gave me something different to work with. And I had quite a few children, like pictures of children, which I don't paint as often, but actually really enjoy. So things like that have kind of evolved from it, unexpected things, which has been nice to get, discoveries that I really didn't expect to happen. So that's
really interesting.
I'm really enjoying it, but it is hard work.
Yeah, I can imagine. Do you work in oil?
No, I work in acrylics.
Oh, okay. Is just for this challenge, or is that always an acrylic?
Always. I attempted oils at college, but very thin, so it dried quickly. I'm very impatient. So I don't.
Acrylic works better with you then.
What did you say? Sorry.
Acrylics works better for you than.
Yeah, definitely. Do you work in oils or acrylic?
I do work in oil, but I ask that because the quality sometimes in acrylic you can see it's acrylic, but seeing your paintings, I was pretty sure it was oil. I'm just not because it's you, but the quality of the painting there were really really good. So I was just assuming it was oil.
I love oil paintings.
It's great,
love oil painters. I really, really do. And I will get to it eventually. One of the other kind of problems I have, and I know you can get toxic free and fume free and all these kind of things, and I'm really messy. So for a start, oil paints are harder to tidy up. I've got 2 children, and my daughter loves painting, so it's safer for me to have
just like
acrylic paints around. from a cleaning point of view. I mean, she's painted herself with nail varnish before, so goodness knows what she'd do if she got some oil paint.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of kind of a lifestyle choice that I don't use oils. A nervous thing as well, because I'm quite impatient and I know that oils take a bit longer, and it would be a new thing for me to learn, which I do love trying new things. But like I said earlier, I'm a bit of a sensitive sod. I get quite affected when a painting doesn't go so well. Have you heard of Imposter Syndrome? Have you heard of people speak of that?
No.
No?
What is it?
I'd never heard of it until about a year ago. So, and I get it a little, well no, I get it a lot. So it's a kind of a bit of a disbelief in yourself, I guess. So when you do a painting and you surprise yourself and think, oh, I actually quite like this, or it's quite good, you think of it as a bit of a fluke, that actually, you know, that's not really you painting like that. And then when you have a bad painting, then that reinforces the fact that, yeah,
it's you.
I'm not like, yeah. So I think that's another reason I haven't, apart from kind of the cleaning and safety aspect with the children around. Another thing is I feel I'm kind of getting to grips with where I like to be, and I'm not ready to have a little kickback at the moment and try oils, but I absolutely adore oil paintings. I really do.
A couple of things. I think I do. I do think all the time that if the painting goes well, it's by luck, kind of like, oh, it's a lucky brushstroke or something.
Yeah, that's imposter syndrome.
And when it goes wrong and I don't like it, I'm like, oh, just give up. Like, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do this for like that's not like, I shouldn't be an artist. Like, there always plays in my mind when. Yeah.
That's it. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, cool. Every day you learn something new.
It's a horrible thing, and I don't know if it ever goes away.
Oh, but, I don't think it will. If you really care about this kind, like if you really care about your art, I think you're always gonna fake this.
Exactly. I think that's what it is. I think we're always looking to improve and better what we do, and so yeah, we're always gonna kind of.
Yeah, and the second thing is, I am really impatient in general, so I can't do one thing only. I need to do 10 things at a time, and obviously it takes 10 times longer to do it, but that's how I work. If I'm working in the chaos, it's good. But I'm completely opposite when I paint. When I paint, and it has to be slow. I need to have a slow approach, like a slow brushstroke, and it's really therapeutic for me. It's really it's more almost I get to a state of meditation, and
I agree.
And I just stop and listen to music maybe, and listen to a podcast, and just take my time to do my painting. But other the paintings, I'm completely opposite. I love sports, I love doing exercise, and I need to be active, I need to do 100 things at the same time. But with paintings, no, I need to take my time. It's really weird. I always thought that why I'm not the same in painting, why I don't do the same, but it just doesn't work for me. I tried, it just doesn't.
No, I like that aspect of painting though, that you can disappear into it, that you're so focused on what you're doing. I call it brain space. Sometimes you just need that bit of brain space. And although I'm talking to myself in my head, not out loud too much whilst I'm doing it, it definitely is a kind of, albeit testing at times, calmer part of my day or my brain when I'm doing it. So yeah, when you say it's meditative, then if I can say that word, then I agree with that as well.
Yeah. What is your subject matter of your art? Is that just random, especially if you're doing this 100 portrait? It's like random people that you might know, or you might ask on Instagram, I don't know, or just photos that you like and you just decide to paint?
It's a bit of everything. So I had the I opened up for 10 people, well, not 10 people, any number of people to submit their photos to me for a portrait, and I selected 10, and I might open it again. I've got one more to do. And then I've done one self-portrait amongst it, which I gave to my mum. Why didn't that one sell? And then the others, I use free artist resources. Well, I guess they're resources for anyone. So there's an app called Sketchy, which is amazing. They run online classes as well. Not that I've ever done one of those, because I can never seem to find time to do that sort of thing. But basically, people just pop their photo on this app because they quite like to be painted.
Yeah.
You know, there's no obligation. You get all sorts of random things, but you get quite a good selection, and a good selection of people, meaning ages, races, genders. You get a real good mix there, and they're not too contrived. They're not too posed. They're not intended for, I don't know, kind of business use like posters or anything.
Yeah.
And then I do use another free resource called Unsplash. They are photos from professional photographers that allow you to use their photos in any way that you want, completely royalty free.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they are really good, but they are more formal. So they are very structured. Some of them are amazing because they're high resolution, so you can really see the detail on the photos, whereas Sketchy they aren't, so you often get quite blurry photos to work from.
Yeah.
But I do use them, but it takes a long time to find something that I'm inspired by, and hopefully one day I'll have the opportunity where you can actually maybe draw from a real life human in your own home, or you know, take photographs. So I prefer the less posed ones, but yeah, generally 90% of the time they are people that I don't know rather than people that I do.
What does inspire you on when you see the photos? Like, what do you decide on?
It can be anything. So sometimes I'll know whether I want to paint a male or a female. Sometimes I know I want to paint someone with glasses on or not glasses on. Sometimes I'll be aimlessly scrolling through for hours, and it can be as small a thing as a tiny bit of light on an eye or a nose or lack of contrast in a picture. It's never looking for just one thing. I think it's a bit like, this is going to be a funny analogy. You know when you're hungry and you don't know what you fancy eating, but when you eat it and it hits the spot, you think, right, that's it. But you didn't know what that was going to be. It's a bit like that. So I'll be scrolling through, and it's just something. It can be a very small thing on the picture. Maybe it's just an emotional reaction to something sometimes. You know, a feeling that comes across in a picture. I don't paint that many happy pictures. I don't tend to paint people smiling or laughing. I'm not miserable, really. I tend to paint quite straight or sad faces. But yeah, it can be anything that grabs my attention, really. And so, yeah, something not always that obvious as well.
And who was your first of all, did your practice change through all these years that you've been painting and drawings, and especially from when you decide to go full-time artist?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Apart from subject matter, it's completely changed. I don't know why I started painting more animals than anything else. Maybe I felt that was a bit more commercial.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, our focus at the end of the day, as cold as it might sound, if I don't earn money from what I'm doing, then I can't do it. We can't live off of one wage in our family. So I think I probably started painting more wildlife-y things because I thought they'd have more appeal to start with. As far as so that's subject matter, which obviously has completely changed. I can't remember the last animal I painted. I think my mum's dog, I drew that. But my practice has changed. So I did start with acrylics. I think I was a lot looser painter and a lot larger scale painter to start with. Again, I thought you have to go big. That's what you did, you know. You have to paint big art.
You're like excited about it, just go for it.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Yeah, everyone wants massive art in their homes. That's what you've got to do.
Yeah.
so that's how I started, and then I think it became more right. I actually want to get better at what I do. I don't just want to paint. I want to see myself improve, and so then I switched quite a bit to drawing, because I find that a lot harder than painting. You've got to be more
That's interesting.
accurate. So I started drawing a lot more, because I never used to draw out my paintings first of all. I used to go straight to paint, never any preliminary drawing. I don't sketch. I get scared about sketching, I'll tell you in a minute. And so I still don't sketch. I go straight for it. But now I do draw, and I do a slight underpainting, putting some of the darker values down first of all. So my process has evolved quite a lot. Now I don't sketch. I love sketchbooks. There's the freedom that you see in people's sketchbooks. The drawings often.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best thing that
I
you can see in an artist practice.
Oh, I do love sketchbooks, but they scare me because I think if I do a sketch and then try and develop a sketch into a painting, then I'm going to be worried that my sketch is better than my painting because I've been thinking about it too much. So instead of sketching a lot, I just paint a lot instead. So I just go straight for it, because then I think I've got nothing to compare it to and think that it was better. I think I just feel a bit more free that way, going straight for the painting rather than doing a sketch. And I just hash out the ideas as I'm doing it rather than doing things beforehand. So I guess my practice has changed, and I hope it continues to change. Really.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah.
It's just because you're a different person from 5-10 years ago. So obviously it's gonna change, and obviously it's gonna evolve with yourself in how you approach and what you want, what you're interested into, and everything. So I guess it's really unless you do this only for the commercial aspect, you're not gonna change. So if you find something that you're good at and it sells a lot, you're just gonna keep doing that for the rest of your time. So but if you actually want to evolve, if you're interested in that, evolve yourself as an artist, you are gonna change. Your practice is gonna evolve. It's gonna change through the years.
Yeah, I think that's an important comment that you make. It's really hard when you're selling your art as well to not get sucked into thinking that sells. I'm just going to do more of that because I need to make my living from it. So I really try. It's really hard, but I try not to think about too much. Oh, did that painting sell because it was done like this or done like that? Yeah,
can be really tricky.
I just try and paint for what I've enjoyed doing, and then just hope and pray that then obviously it will sell afterwards.
Why do you find sketching scary?
because I love, because of the freedom in sketches, and they often are better, and that's then when I think I can't replicate what I've done.
Wait, why don't sketch like just random things and then paint something else? It doesn't have to be what you're painting. So
yeah, this is true. I've never thought of it like that.
That's what happens to me most of the time. I'm just randomly sketching things that is not gonna go on a canvas. It just stays in a sketching book, and I paint completely different things. And I do sketch for my paintings before I do the painting. So I kind of like familiarize with the form and with the shadows and where the lights goes and everything, all the things like that. So I do that, but it's most of my sketches is just like random stuff that I find and I see.
That's a good plan. Then I won't be so scared.
It's just like for me, it's such a liberating, free things to do because, as I said, I'm really methodology with my painting, so I need to follow some sort of schedule, some sort of steps, and with the sketching I don't have that. I just go for whatever I want to and whatever technique I want to use and whatever charcoal, ink, pen, anything, I just draw. And it's so you don't think the outcome has to be great. You just do and it's great.
I might have to try. No, I will have to try that, definitely.
Yeah, it's really nice.
The fear of, like I said, the fear of replicating and it not being as good as.
Yeah. Sometimes you're gonna like more the sketching than the painting, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For sure, that's gonna happen.
That's why I'm not doing it. I'll try sketching random things instead, not the face that I'm gonna paint. That's a good plan.
Because there's nothing better than a good drawing, and it's just so good if you fall in love. Yeah, it's really exciting. All the marks and all the different layer of shadows, and it's just great. Sometimes it's actually better than a painting.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. And when I see people post their sketchbook pages up to Instagram, I think, oh, I'd have that. I'd absolutely love that on my wall. You know that? Yeah, they're just amazing in people's sketchbooks. I love mark making. I love when you look at a painting up close and you can see brush strokes and scrapes and blobs and all things that you couldn't recreate again, and then you step back and you think, how on earth did that all come together and make that? It's amazing. I do love marks. That's what excites me. I think about marks, definitely.
And I wanted to ask you finally, why art? Like, why did you choose, especially we talk about how you change completely your life doing from a job to doing artist full time. But why did you always have this interest in art, and why did you always wanted to paint and draw?
I don't really know. I can only kind of, I guess, compare it to now that I've got my children. So growing up, my family, my granddad was musical. A lot of my family were musical. I wasn't. I clearly haven't got a singing voice. Well, maybe like a child's singing voice. But I had no kind of artistic, no painters or anything like that, or even sort of architects or anything like that in my family at all. But it's something that I always did as a child. My sister couldn't be more different from me. She's a police officer, so it's not as if I had a sibling that was doing something similar. So it's always something that I did as a child. I don't know why. I just really enjoy it. And then seeing my two children grow up, as cheesy as it might sound, I think it's just something that's in you. So my son is creative in a different way. So he might build things or try and invent things. Whereas my daughter, she's 5 next week actually, she literally gets up and draws straight away.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Something is in her that she feels compelled to do. She can't control it. I've got a cardboard house with wallpaper in the living room and drawings on and things like that she built yesterday. She just can't help herself. So I don't think it's necessarily a choice that I've made. I've made a choice to make it my career. But as far as doing it, I really cannot tell you why, other than I love doing it. I feel compelled to do it. And I feel really grateful now that I'm able to turn that into an income so that I can actually spend more of my time doing it. So yeah, I guess it's not an environment that I've grown up in or anything. It's just something that I guess you can't help yourself from doing, really. And the more you do it, the more you want to do it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think that's it anyway.
I don't want to take too much of your time, Flo, and thank you very much to be part of the podcast and to have this chat with me. And do you want to give quickly your social media and where people can find you and stuff like that?
Yeah, no problem. So I've got a website which a lot of my work goes on. That's FlorenceLeeandCo.com. And then Instagram's probably the best place to find me. So I post daily on there, put bits on my stories about my process and what I'm up to. And that's at Florence Lee and Co. So yeah, they're the best places. There's no exhibitions or anything at the moment. Hopefully will be next year. But otherwise, yeah, just keep an eye on social media. It's the best way to get updates from me about what I'm doing and my 100 Heads challenge and things.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much, Flo, again. It was a great chat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
And there was Flo. She's so sweet. thank you very much, Flo. There was a great chat. I really enjoy it. And don't forget to go on her social media and see her fantastic work. She does great and she posts daily. I always watch her stories and what she's up to and how she's talking about art, and it's really nice. It's really refreshing. Then the painting, the portrait are so interesting. Definitely go check it out. I will put a link in the description, so go and support this beautiful artist. Anyway, guys, don't forget to subscribe, to follow. Great news! We have an Instagram page, and at the Artful Podcast. Really simple. Don't forget to go there and follow the page. I will post every couple of days something about the podcast, and some updates will be there. So go check it out if you want to be on tune on, and don't forget to subscribe and to the channel. It really helps to grow the channel and for me to contact more great artists. And that's it for today, guys. From the Artful Podcast, I'm out.